On.
I have just arrived in Lopiano about maybe 15 minutes ago. So
Yes, I wanted to say it seems like you're in a new place. Alhamdulillah.
yeah. So my
Thanks so
flight
much for connecting despite being on the road like this.
Thank you. My flight had about 3 hours delay. I was supposed to come earlier, so I arrived late. But alhamdulillah, I'm now here. Inshallah, tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, we will have Wings of Unity.
Inshallah.
We need your du'as for discussions to be very, inshallah, fruitful.
Inshallah ta'ala. We look forward to benefiting. I'm sure you will share with us different recordings as they come about, inshallah.
Inshallah. Because I am not here with my facilities or equipments, etc. So I thought we don't teach today history of Shia Islam so that the series would not be affected. But
Yes.
we share, inshallah, reflections on a beautiful hadith from Imam Sadiq, علیه السلام.
Inshallah ta'ala.
So I try also to share hadith so that you can see. Can you see the hadith?
It's loading right now. Yes, we can see it. But if we can just zoom in a little bit, it would be good if you can zoom in a little bit. Yes, that's better. Thank you so much.
Yeah. I don't know if I go to the better. No. Okay. As I read, I will make it, inshallah, people. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد
وآله الطيبين الطاهرين لا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين جل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف اللهم أخرجني من ظلمات الوهم وأكرمني بنور الفهم اللهم افتح علينا أبواب رحمتك وانشر علينا خزائن علومك رحمتك يا أرحم. As I said, I have arrived in Lopiano in Italy, alhamdulillah, and inshallah tonight we reflect on a beautiful hadith from Imam Sadiq alayhi salam. And bi'Iznillah, next week we will resume our discussion about history of Shia Islam. This hadith is a very beautiful hadith that maybe I first read this hadith must be more than 30 years ago. But I loved it and remained in my mind. You can find it in different books. Here on the screen, it's from الخصال by Sheikh Sadiq. But you can find also this in the translations in Farsi and the original Arabic. But you can find this hadith in other books. For example, in Al-Kafi also you find this hadith. Sheikh Kulayni has also this hadith. And actually I had seen it over there. So Imam Sadiq alayhi salam says, ينبغي للمؤمن أن يكون فيه ثمان خصال. It is desirable, it is expected that a believer would have 8 characteristics. You know, the reason the book Khosal by Sheikh Sadiq is called الخصال because he classifies the hadith according to the number, according to figures. Hadith about number 1, about number 2, number 3, etc. So you can find it there when it's about number 8. And normally when in such hadith, akhlaqi hadith, when they mention, for example, 8, it doesn't mean that it's only 8 and not 9 or 10. These can be some of the most relevant things that Imam wanted to mention in that meeting, that time. But shouldn't be surprised if, for example, you find also some other things. The first is waqurun inda al-hazahiz, or in maybe some places you find it waquran inda al-hazahiz. Mu'min, when is troubled, when is faced with challenges, should remain dignified and maintain his or her integrity. Shouldn't be disturbed too much by challenges. I think it was last week that we talked about actually the concept of waqar. And we said that it's difficult to maybe translate it into English. Saburun inda al-bala. And when there are calamities which are stronger than hazahiz, Mu'min is very patient. Sabur, not sabir only. Sabur, Mu'min has to be very patient. There is no need to talk about patience. Alhamdulillah, we have talked in different places, like lessons on Islamic morals in the whole series, in 40 hadiths of Imam Khomeini, in Islamic Plan for Life. So in different places we have talked about patience and how even hadith says as-sabru min al-iman bi manzilat al-ra's min al-jasad. Faith without patience is like a body without head. The body can survive without hand, without leg, even without eye. It can survive. Without head, we cannot survive. So patience is very much needed. The third quality of mu'min is gratitude. Shakurun inda ar-rakha. Mu'min is very grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at the time of ease. Unfortunately, sometimes when things are going well, we forget Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When we have the blessings and we enjoy them, we take them for granted. When we lose them, we then realize, oh, I had such a great blessing that I was not acknowledging. But mu'min is very grateful in the times of ease and afiyah. In the time of difficulties, patient. Of course, those who are stronger in Iman, even when there are difficulties, they are grateful. Allahumma inni as'aluka sabra ash-shakirina lak. Wa Allahumma laka alhamdu hamda ash-shakirina laka ala musabih. But at least when things are going well, you are healthy, you have family, friends around, you have a job, you have accommodation. So you have to be very grateful. قانع أو قانعا بما رزقه الله. Mu'min is very content with what Allah has given him, the sustenance that Allah has given him. He tries to utilize it in the best way. You may ask for more. That's not a problem. We can always ask Allah to have more of his rizq. Rizqan wasa'an. If rizq is worldly or spiritual, we can always ask for more, but not by complaining about what we have, not by underestimating what we have, by appreciating what we have. And we say, if possible, you know, I am not able to thank even for what you have given me already, but if possible, please give me more. I am able to rent a house, and many people cannot even afford to rent a house. Alhamdulillah, I'm renting a house. But if possible, please help me to have a small house, for example. So this is okay. But if you know, say, no, why I have to rent house? Many people, have several houses. I don't have even one house. This is not good. So to be content with what Allah has given, this already it makes 4. Then 5, لا يظلم الأعداء. This is very rare. A mu'min would not do zulm even to the enemies, either his or her own enemies or even enemies of God, because mu'min is not supposed to have personal enmity. Yes, people maybe have personal enmity with you, but you should be rising above these issues. If there is enmity, should be for the sake of Allah from our side. Enemies of truth, enemies of humanity, enemies of goodness, justice, etc. Otherwise, we shouldn't let personal things become an issue. As we have been explaining, إني سلم لمن سالمكم وحرب لمن حاربكم, not حرب لمن حاربني, as much as possible. So, even if you have enemies which are very vicious enemies of God, like Yazid, like Abu Sufyan, like Fir'aun, like Namrud, we cannot do zulm to them. And mu'min has such a nature that automatically refrains from zulm in the same way that refrains from falsehood. Zulm is also something that mu'min by nature, by disposition, would not go near zulm. Like if you have not eaten certain things or have not tried certain things, your body has no interest even in trying this. Someone who has not been smoking, yeah? So even if you smell, you don't like to smoke. It's not that you force yourself not to smoke. Yes, those who get used to it, then they have to force themselves not to smoke. But if you are in the natural condition, you don't want to smoke. This is physical. But there are things which are spiritual, like lying, ghaiba. Someone with dignified personality would not tell lies, would not do biting. When someone is not present, they don't talk about someone who's not present in a bad way. And they don't do zulm. لا يظلم الأعداء. And Quran says, لا يجرمنكم شنآن قوم على ألا تعرفوا ولا يتحامل للأصدقاء. Sometimes when our friends are involved, we overlook their problems and mistakes, or if they have issue with someone and they have done wrong things, we close our eyes. Or not only close our eyes, we support them. We know that they are wrong, but still we support them. Or we don't bother to find out what is the truth. If my child, my brother, my friend, my sister is involved, automatically I support. This is not a sign of Imam. Mu'min is, as the Quran says, كونوا قوامين لله شهداء بالقسط or شهداء لله. We have two verses. Mu'min should always be standing up for the justice, for truth, and be a witness. If my friend has done something wrong, I should say you have done something wrong. I should not support my friend in all circumstances. There is a hadith that says one of the rights of your brother is to help him, whether he is zalim or mazlum. Then the narrator is surprised, why I should support him when he is zalim. Then Imam explains, if your friend is zalim, to help him is to stop him. If you really love your friend, you want to help him when he is zalim, don't close your eyes and say, this is wrong. This is help. So, لا يتحامل للأصدقاء بدنه منه في تعب والناس منه في راحة. Very beautiful. Well, if we just observe these things, life becomes much more comfortable, much more joyful. Everyone tries to remove burden from others and as much as possible offer help. بدنه منه في تعب. His body or her body is tired because he uses his body. He's not lazy, he's not passive, he's active, he uses his body. He does lots of work, he offers lots of help. Not to the extent that becomes ill. No, you don't want to become ill, but you use your body like, a sportsman, a sportswoman. They use their body, they do lots of exercises, they become very tired. But this is actually good for body and for soul. When your body is tired, not exhausted too much, but it's tired, you have used your body, it also gives a sense of satisfaction. And it also avoids many problems that can be caused by being idle. So, بدنه منه في تعب. But الناس منه في راحة. But people are very comfortable with him. Some people are opposite. بدنه منه في راحة. They very much look after themselves. They don't do anything, and they've just put everything on the shoulder of others, on mother, on father, on siblings, or in community and others. They just come to majalis when they are ready. They don't go earlier to help, to clean, to support, to prepare something, to buy something for majalis. They just go to use it, what is available. And they live also like a guest. In our community, in our home, we should not be just like guests. We have to work. بدنه منه في تعب والناس منه في راحة. One of the characteristics of the Prophet is very beautifully described by this short expression, that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was khafiful ma'unah, kathirul ma'unah. One is with Hamza, one is with Ain. Ma'una with Hamza, with Ain, ma'una means help. Ma'una with Hamza means expense, demand. So when it comes to expecting, taking from people, Rasulullah was very light, khafiful ma'una. He was not making life difficult for people. Even he was not, letting them to do lots of things for him. he wanted to have very simple treatment. And he always wanted to work. But when it comes to help, he was كثير المعونة. He was helping a lot. And this is why we said in Dua Nudba, we say, where is the helper? هل من معين فأطيل معه العبيل بالبكاء. So we ask for helper, but twice we offer help. هل من جزوع فأساعد جزاءه إذا خلا هل قد يد عين فساعدتها عيني الغد. Once we ask for helper, even for crying, it's not personal, but no, even for community work, should be hesitant to ask always for help, but we should be very happy to offer help. If everyone has this attitude, then people would compete in helping, in volunteering. بدنه منه في تعب والناس منه في راحة. So there are 8 qualities. وقور عند الحزائز، صبور عند البلاء، شكور عند الرخاء، قانع بما رزقه الله، لا يظلم الأعداء، لا يتحامل للأصدقاء، بدنه منه في تعب والناس منه في راحة. 8 qualities. Then Imam alayhi salam says, إن العلم خليل المؤمن. We have human friends, of course. But for mu'min, a real friend is knowledge. Because without knowledge, we have no light, we cannot proceed. So knowledge gives us light, gives us vision, gives us hayat, life. إن العلم خليل المؤمن والحلم وزير. Forbearance is wazir, is minister's helper. So we need ilm and hilm. Actually, ilm and hilm should be together. والصبر أمير جنوده. Patience is the commander of his army. Yeah, whatever means, equipments, forces, powers, etc. you have, should be under the control of patience. والرفق أخوه. Rifq means moderation. Moderation is the brother for a moment. Valin Validuhu. It's very beautiful. Lenience is the parent, it's the father for mu'min. Mu'min needs lenience. Like Rasulullah, فَبِمَا رَحْمَةٍ مِنَ اللَّهِ لِنْتَ لَهُمْ. We have talked in some places about lenience. You can be strong but lenient. As Amir said in خطبة المتقين فمن علامة أحدهم أنك ترى له قوة في دين وحزما في لين. In followership also we had this. Among their signs you see that they have strengths in religion, in faith, but they are also far-sighted and they are soft.